is my mastery speech called The Lethality of Obesity, a redo of my national issue speech. For the first time in history, many children will not outlive their parents. Isn't that a scary statistic? This is the effect obesity is having on our society. As a nutrition major with the hopes of becoming a registered dietitian and working with overweight children in the future, I've done much research on the subject and found that what Timmy Gustafson said in her article titled "Framing the Message of the Obesity Fight" to be extremely interesting, and she helped me formulate my ideas on the subject. I believe it is our responsibility as a society to prevent this above statistic from coming true. The obesity epidemic has been increasing rapidly over the past few years, and people do not realize the seriousness of obesity as a disease. Today I will talk about the issue of obesity and its possible causes, and then I will talk about how the obesity affects the American society through an increase in the cost of health care and an increase in health complications that can lead to an early death. But first, we will discuss how society has ended up with this disease. Through my studies at ACU, I have learned that obesity is an epidemic that has developed rapidly. There are many factors that cause Americans to become overweight. Katie Perpich stated in her article titled "Childhood Obesity: Understanding the Causes" that obesity can be caused by many factors, such as genetic factors, lack of physical activity, and an increase in the amount of fast food consumed. All of these factors have been getting increasingly worse over the past few decades. An increase in weight gain can mean that there is an increase in the genetic probability that their children will be overweight as well. In addition, we do not have enough exercise in our daily activities because most people have desk jobs now instead of jobs of physical labor like they used to. On top of all of this, there's an increase in the amount of fast food eaten because it is easy, quick, convenient, and cheap. All of these habits are extremely harmful to our bodies, and society will reap the consequences. The first main consequence is the increase in the cost of healthcare. Healthcare cost has been going up greatly because of an increase in the amount of medical bills that the hospital is having to charge because so many people are coming in with diseases caused by obesity. These additional expenses cause the overall cost of healthcare to go up because someone has to pay for these bills. Furthermore, Marcia Ray states in her article titled "Future Changes Driving the Dietetic Workforce," written in 2012, that the Brookings Institute recently estimated that the obesity costs the U.S. economy over $215 billion annually in premature death, medical costs, and loss of productivity. This is so much money that is being spent to pay for conditions that people shouldn't even have to experience. Therefore, regardless if you suffer with obesity or if you know of someone who suffers with obesity, you are being affected by this epidemic by being a part of the American society. The other main consequence I want to talk about is an increase in the amount of health complications that can shorten the lives of people with obesity. When a person is overweight, the majority of their physical health problems can be linked to obesity. The body cannot function at its optimal rate when there is excess fat on the body. It makes it increasingly difficult to carry out normal bodily functions. The reason these diseases form is because this problem is not addressed, so it becomes worse. A person with obesity has been living an unhealthy lifestyle for a span of years. This is how they have gone from being overweight to obese. In the article titled "Population Risk Factors and Trends in Healthcare," written in 2012 by Betsy Houghton and Jamie Stang, they state that approximately 1/3 of cancers are related to poor nutrition and lack of physical activity, and up to 20% of cancer mortality related to overweight and obesity. This is such a high percentage that could be easily prevented if obesity rates were lowered. However, people who suffer with obesity think that they are an exception to the horrifying reality of these statistics. For instance, Louisa Burrell and Lolita Samuel state that people who struggle with being overweight or obese have significantly higher unadjusted death rates for all-cause mortality. In their article titled "Body Mass Index Categories and Mortality Risk in U.S. Adults," written in March. These statistics will affect people with obesity because they will not live as long of a life because of their unhealthy habits. All in all, this issue has not only costed us greatly financially in our healthcare system, but it also causes more people to become sick and even die. The statistics I have stated are sickening, and the fact that people are dying because of obesity is heartbreaking, and to think that this is totally preventable. This can and should be prevented, but it takes people like you and me to encourage them to make better choices. Thank you.